SmackDown took place tonight in Savannah, Georgia. Backstage, we see Drew McIntyre arriving, and he's immediately jumped by Damian Priest. They brawl to hype up their steel cage match tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event. Tiffany Stratton made her way down the ring, and she was wearing a very revealing cheetah dress that is really short, and I don't think there's anyone complaining about that. She looked very attractive, as she always does, and she comes out to talk about how winning Money in the Bank last year set her off. That's how she got the WWE Women's Championship. She talked about beating Nia Jax, beating Charlotte Flair, and then she's interrupted by our goddess, Alexa Bliss, who does seem more like the goddess character, even though she still carries the Lily doll and she has the Friend Fiend jacket. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Alexa comes out. She gets a big pop. Of course, Alexa gets the nice, warm southern welcome from Savannah, Georgia. Everyone likes her. She's getting cheered. She talked about how she doesn't really know Tiffany, and she says she's had her eye on her for a while, especially after she beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. Alexa brings up how she once won Money in the Bank. That was back in 2018, and she wants the briefcase again. She mentions that when she cashed in on Nia, that she actually liked her, but she doesn't know the same about Tiffany. So she's, implying that Tiffany is wicked, that she's backstabbing, and she's conniving. And she tells Tiffany that her downfall will come. And it's Alexa speaking as a veteran because she's been there for a while. Out comes Charlotte Flair. And the fans hate her. I thought, all right, maybe it's Georgia. This is, place for Flair. Ric Flair was huge. Maybe they'll like her here. No, everywhere. No one likes Charlotte. She can't get a word out from all the boos she's getting. Tiffany calls out Charlotte for being a hypocrite for participating in the Money in the Bank qualifying match, because that's when Charlotte, during that double screen interview, the split screen interview, that's when she called out Tiffy for cashing in Money in the Bank on Nia. So Tiffy is giving it back to Charlotte. She never forgot about that. I think that thing really upset her. And then she goes and calls both Charlotte and Alexa Bliss vintage. So she's implying that they're old. They're clearly setting up an alliance between both Charlotte and Alexa. I'm thinking, Alexa Bliss, that's who you're saying that to? Come on. Who would say that to Alexa Bliss? Who would say anything mean to her of all people? Calling her vintage. I mean, she's still young. She's like 33 years old, and she had a baby. And I think Alexa looks good. I think people don't know, in addition to her pregnancy, before that, she had skin cancer. So I think everything considered, she looks excellent. She's young still, but Tiffy called her that. I don't think Alexa liked that, judging by her tweet, but they're setting something up. I don't like Alexa and Charlotte as a team, because Alexa's over. Everyone likes her. Everyone cheers for her. No one likes Charlotte. Everyone hates Charlotte. I think you're just killing Alexa's heat by having her team with Charlotte right now. But in this segment, Julia then came out. And by the way, Charlotte was dressed in her ring gear, while Alexa and Tiffany were not, especially Tiffany. I think she was looking like she was going out with Kaiser tonight. And Julia comes out in her gear, and it sets up the triple threat qualifying match. Later, Zelina Vega, she was out last for the match. And we get the opening matchup tonight, a triple threat qualifying match for Money in the Bank. We have Julia versus Charlotte Flair versus Zelina Vega. So at first, they were teasing just Charlotte and Julia, and Zelina, who's actually the women's United States champion, was kind of in the background. She wanted them to get them to look at her. Eventually, she got involved, and the fans kept saying, "We want tables." I'm thinking to myself, why? This is like a women's triple threat opening match. Why do you want tables in this match? And Charlotte starts mocking the fans on the break. Us international viewers see it. She's saying, "We want tables." I think it's kind of funny when Charlotte makes fun of the fans. I actually kind of laugh when she flips them off sometimes, but Charlotte was great in that spot. Julia is, I thought she was getting over during the match. Zelina got some cheers. She was a baby face into it. There was a "This is awesome" chant, I believe. And then we had the end where Charlotte gets taken out of the match. She gets sent to the outside. Julia then pins Zelina Vega with the Northern Lights bomb, and she wins, and she is qualifying for Money in the Bank. After she immediately got the win, Julia points to the sky as she wins on her SmackDown debut. The reason she's pointing to the sky, pointing to the heavens, is it's a tribute to her friend Hana Kimura, who tragically, I don't even want to talk about this, it's such a sad story, one of the saddest stories ever in wrestling, but Hana Kimura, a fellow wrestler of Julia's in Japan, both of them were big names. Everyone thought both would be big stars by now, and Julia is, and her friend Hana, unfortunately, 5 years ago today, May 23rd, took her own life. So Julia doing a tribute to her good friend Hana, a nice feel-good moment. And this wasn't the only good feel-good moment for the whole show. So I like that touch by Julia. DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa cut a video promo on the Motor City Machine Guns. That sets up Chris Sabin taking on Tommaso Ciampa. Then you had Sabin out with Alex Shelley to the ring. Then you had Zelina Vega walking backstage. She's holding her neck. She's immediately confronted by Chelsea Green and the Secret Service, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven. And they mock Zelina for the loss. And then Zelina punches Chelsea. Then the three of them beat them down. They hold Zelina as they beat her up. Then all of a sudden we see Mishin attack them with a kendo stick. And she gets the other two to retreat, basically. B-Fab's there too. The three of them, like all three on each side, have to be separated by security. Nick Aldis then, after he has it broken up, he makes a women's tag match with her tonight. I thought he meant a 6-woman tag tonight, but no, it just turned into a tag match. Yeah, Chris Sabin and Tommaso Ciampa, a decent matchup here. I thought it was pretty good. What happened was, I really liked how they did it. I mean, they had Johnny Gargano and Alex Shelley both on the outside, but then we see Candice LeRae out of nowhere. She comes up from the apron and she attacks Sabin, and no one knows what's going on. It allows Ciampa to get the win, and I thought this was great. This is great for Candice. She finally has something. They're putting her with Johnny Gargano, her husband, and his tag team partner, Tommaso Ciampa, and they're going to be a new heel duo. This is exactly what they need. This was a good thing for them. I'm glad they're doing this. I really like the three of them as a trio, as a heel trio, and it's something for her to do. Because without that, I mean, I was thinking maybe they're going to let her go, but I'm glad they have this, and hopefully they work as a heel trio. I don't think the three of them have ever been aligned together. I think in NXT, Candice played that role, and she was the face when Ciampa was basically he betrayed Gargano, and he was the heel, that legendary rivalry. But then she turned heel and became a heel with Gargano. Then they created the Way with Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory as a stable. So I'm interested to see this. I'm glad they're going this way, and this isn't the last time we'd see them. We saw a lot of Byron Saxton tonight, and that's never a good thing. Anyway, he's interviewing Fraxman about their tag match tonight, their tag title match. They're excited. I want to mention this. Triple H announced that Money in the Bank is in August next year. It's in New Orleans. I already knew that. And he says WrestleMania is going to come at a future date. So I needed to bring this up. He put out this video. I'm thinking to myself, that's terrible for New Orleans. One, it's weird that Money in the Bank is now after SummerSlam. That's never happened before. It's August 29th of 2026 in New Orleans. And that it's going to be a month after SummerSlam. I'm thinking, that's why? Why do that? Maybe they want the Money in the Bank briefcase closer to WrestleMania season so they have more time. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. They could do it like that. But it also could be, I'm thinking they're giving them this because they're not getting WrestleMania 43. Late August, August 29th, and then when's WrestleMania? Middle of April? So they're going to get 2 shows within the span of a year. Less than that, obviously less than a year. It's, I think that's 8 months or something. That in the span of 8 months, I don't think so. Especially since Money in the Bank is practically one of the big 4, big 5. I don't think they're getting WrestleMania 43 when I heard that. So I think it's unlikely now. It really sucks. And we got a video package for John Cena and R-Truth. They had Damian Priest head to the ring, but Drew jumps in this time. They brawl around the ring. Security has to separate them, and Priest cuts a promo briefly, and he goes after him, and they did a good job at hyping up the cage match tomorrow night. Solo Sikoa talks to Jacob, who tells JC, this is Jacob telling him he doesn't know him, doesn't trust him. I'm just thinking JC is so short. This isn't going to work. He's just too short. Jacob isn't this really tall guy. He just completely towers over this guy, as is Solo. This is not good. This isn't going to work with JC. Solo tried to get him on the same page for their tag match tonight. Charlotte Flair's walking down a hall backstage, and then she hears Alexa Bliss talking about having friends and needing them whenever you fall down because they'll be there for you. And then she realizes that Charlotte confronts Alexa, but then Alexa plays off that she's talking to the Lily doll. So technically Alexa isn't talking about Charlotte, even though I think she is. I think there's going to be some sort of faction between the two of them, or they might add someone in the group. Alexa then pokes fun at Charlotte for missing Money in the Bank. She says, "See you at Money in the Bank," and then Schmerz, "Oh yeah," which is a good thing. Alexa's very good on the mic. She's can be condescending, throwing out backhanded remarks. That's the old goddess character that I miss. Everyone just likes her. I just think aligning her at Charlotte's a mistake because it's just going to kill her heat. And I like people like Alexa. She's just a genuine babyface who can get over because she has a connection to the fans. I think having her and Charlotte as a heel team, it's going to hurt her. So I'd prefer her as a babyface. We get the Secret Service, Alba Fire and Mission against Alba Fire and Mission. Zelina attacked Chelsea Green from interfering, and this allowed Mission and BFAB to get the win. Later, it's announced that they're going to get a women's U.S. title match, or rematch at Saturday Night's Main Event, in which Zelina Vega defends her belt against Chelsea Green. Wouldn't surprise me if they put the belt back on Chelsea tomorrow night. Byron Saxton interviews the Street Profits on defending their tag titles. Just too much interviews backstage. There's so many segments. I didn't hate the show. There's a lot good. It doesn't need to be 3 hours. I can't wait. I wish this was the last 3 hour show. If this was like a 2 hour show, I would have really enjoyed this because those shows on Fox are almost all really good. SmackDown was good on Fox. I wish it was still there, and I wish we can get to 2 hours. I hope we're done with the frickin' 3 hours soon because this, there's so much Byron Saxton interviews, so much going backstage. We're just killing time. That was the biggest issue. SmackDown needs to be a 2 hour show, and I hope we're there soon because, it's the end of May. I hope by June, I just really hope by June it's a 2 hour show now. Anyway, he was interviewing the Street Profits, and then Solo, JC, and Jacob walked past him in Gorilla to head to the ring for their match. We got a Legado video promo as NXT throwback. It was Santos Escobar trying to get both Angel Guards and Berto on the same page. He's having a problem with Berto. The only reason they're doing this is to promote the Worlds Collide show, in which they announced Legado has a match, a 6-man tag match against 3 members on the AAA roster. And Jamie Uso talks to Rey Fenix backstage to hype up their match. We get Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo against Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. So what happened here is they're getting the heat on Jimmy, but the fans are into Jimmy, which was a cool thing. They're into him. They're chanting, "Let's go, Jimmy." They're beating him up for a while. And Rey Fenix got a pop, but he wasn't as over as Jimmy was. Phoenix eventually gets the hot tag, and I'm thinking, the size thing's a problem because Jacob and JC, who is short, but they're both really big, their size. So, Phoenix getting the tag, I don't know if that would have worked as much. I thought it would have been better if they beat up Phoenix and Jimmy gets the hot tag because he's bigger than both of them, basically. Or he's not as big as Jacob, but he's definitely bigger than JC. Everyone is. I thought that would have worked better. But what happened was JC pins Jimmy Uso after Solo distracts him. He was going to hit the Uso splash. So they're not doing anything with Jimmy, man. I really feel for him. They won't let him go or anything because he's the Usos, and they can always do the Uso reunion, and it's the Anoa'i family. But he loses everything, man. He needs a win. They had Byron Saxton interview LA Knight. He cut a good promo on qualifying for the match, the Money in the Bank ladder match, and he talked about the qualifier tonight. Man, just too much Byron Saxton. Why was Saxton here? We didn't get to see. Is he always just SmackDown? Do we never see Jackie Redmond and Kathy Kelly on SmackDown? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I'd like to see more women on SmackDown. You can call up maybe Kelly Kincaid. She's been in NXT for a while because I don't want to see Byron Saxton. When I've seen this guy for feels like I've seen this guy for 15 years. And then we had R-Truth walking down the hallway. He's out next. He talks about his childhood hero, John Cena. He got what chance? And he cuts a serious promo. And he's doing his best. But, I mean, it's just like no one in the world believes he have any chance in the world of winning. Eventually, he does the best he can. And he says, if Cena wins, we riot. It turned pretty good at the end, but no one's taking him seriously. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'm sure it'll be more of an angle than a match. Aleister Black is out next. Then you had a Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax video promo. They will have a triple threat qualifying match for Money in the Bank ladder match for the woman. That's next week on SmackDown. Then you had Nakamura out, followed by LA Knight. Then you had a triple threat match. Aleister Black, LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura. So it was a decent matchup. Fans weren't that into it. Aleister just doesn't have a lot of heat. He hit the Black Mass onto Nakamura, who, by the way, has no heat. I'm surprised he's still with the company. What happens after he hits the Black Mass, the babyface LA Knight, but, it's LA Knight. He can do it. It's different with him. He's not this good babyface guy. He throws Aleister Black out of the ring, and then LA Knight pins Nakamura for the win, and LA Knight qualifies for Money in the Bank. I hope they consider giving him the briefcase. I think that'd be a cool moment, and I'm rooting for LA Knight to win that. We had Melo Don't Miz backstage. Miz hyped up the team, and he announced that he has gifted Carmelo Hayes his spot in the Money in the Bank qualifying match, which is next week. Melo, I fully expect in Money in the Bank. They preview Saturday night's main event, and it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green's added to the show. Solos with JC and Jacob backstage. Aldis announced that Jacob is in the triple threat match qualifying match next week. I'm sure he'll win, and there'll be tension between Solo and Jacob at Money in the Bank in the ladder match. We got a Bianca Belair video promo. She talks about her struggles over the last 6 months, particularly with all the problems with Jade and Naomi, all the problems they've had, losing the belts, and then seeing her friendship fall apart and losing at WrestleMania. And she's staying a babyface, it seems, and after her fingers heal, which she showed off, and the reason they're doing it is she's returning next week because it's her hometown of Knoxville, Tennessee. So SmackDown in Knoxville next week. I wonder if we might see the mayor of Knox County next week. You never know. A preview next week's show. Then Fraxium has new entrance music by the worst band of all time, Def Rebel. Then we get Street Profits Fraxium tag team belts. Main event. So, match was entertaining. It was fast-paced. And in the end, the fans really got into it, even though I thought they were a bit quiet at first. There was very creative ways to break up pinfalls. There was an awesome start where Montez Ford stomps on someone to break a pinfall. There's a lot of good tag team moves here. Montez Ford's awesome, and Fraxium are awesome. Nathan Frazier's, I think, even better. Axiom's good at Frazier, man. I think that guy's just incredible. DIY made their way to the ring, Gargano and Ciampa with Candice, and then the Motor City Machine come right behind them to stop them. They brawl, and Montez Ford doesn't know what's going on, so he does this awesome dive over the ring post, and it takes out everyone, and then Angelo Dawkins hits a move, I think, on Nathan Frazier. Axiom's on the outside. He wants to get Ford to do the splash from the top rope, but then, all of a sudden, when Ford's on the top rope, the lights go out, and the Wyatt Six return. I thought there was a cool visual where Montez Ford does the sign of the cross as he's on the top rope. That was actually pretty cool. Yeah, the Wyatt Six just destroy everyone. They're back. Cool return. And they're all together in the ring, all 5 of them. Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, that's who he is. Then you have Dexter Loomis. You have Joe Gacy. You have Eric Rowan. And you have Nikki Cross. And 5 of them destroy everyone. You had Nikki go after Candice. All the male wrestlers here are just killed by the Wyatt Six. Eventually, it ends when they do the pose together. And instead of blowing out the lantern, the Wyatts stand in the middle of the ring. They're doing their pose. And it's a birthday cake with candles. Uncle Howdy blows out the candles for his big brother, Bray Wyatt, on his birthday. Bray Wyatt was born on May 23rd. That he would have been 38 years old if he was still alive in 2025. He would be celebrating his birthday today. And 2 years ago, or less than 2 years still, August of 2023 is when he unfortunately passed away I made a tribute video for him. I wasn't making videos for a long time, but I needed to say something because I was just so shocked and couldn't believe it. I was devastated when that happened. I was shocked. I was so sad when Bray passed away a couple years ago. But this was an awesome tribute. I loved they didn't have the lantern. They had a birthday cake with candles for Bray Wyatt. They blow out the candles to end the show. That's how Uncle Howdy pays tribute to his brother Bray Wyatt. Happy birthday, Bray Wyatt.